It is 3 a.m. The house is silent, but your mind is a burning building. You are staring at the ceiling, replaying the scene from dinner. You were speaking. You were sharing something that actually mattered to you. And he cut you off. He interrupted you to make a joke at your expense, and the whole table laughed. And you didn't stop him. You didn't stare him down. You laughed with them. You betrayed yourself to keep the air comfortable. And now, hours later, while he is sleeping soundly, you are awake. You are fantasizing about what you should have done. In your mind, you are flipping the table. In your mind, you are calm, cold, and lethal. But in reality, you were a ghost in your own life. This gap between the lion in your imagination and the mouse in the room is the source of your sickness. You tell yourself you are a peaceful person. You tell yourself you are the bigger person. But deep down, a voice is whispering the humiliating truth. You are not peaceful. You are harmless. There is a terrifying difference. A rabbit is not virtuous because it does not eat the wolf. It is simply prey. If you are incapable of violence, if you are incapable of biting back, your morality is not a choice. It is a lack of options. You have spent your life thinking that your harmlessness is a halo, but in the eyes of nature, it is a defect. You are suffering from a sickness of the soul disguised as a virtue. To be truly good, you must have the capacity for great destruction and the discipline to keep it sheathed. The great Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung understood this paradox better than anyone. He did not tell us to become saints. He told us to become whole, and wholeness includes the monster. Jung wrote, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Your roots have been cut. You are trying to reach the light while denying the dark, and it is making you weak. It is making you resentful. It is making you a martyr in a war you refuse to fight." In the next 20 minutes, we are not going to learn how to be assertive. That is surface-level advice. We are going to descend into the basement of your psyche. We are going to find the aggressive, dangerous, primal part of you that you locked away when you were 5 years old, and we are going to break it out of prison. Because until you are dangerous, you can never be safe. Let us begin. Why are you like this? Why do you have the heart of a warrior but the reflexes of a victim? We need to go back. We need to go back to the kitchen table of your childhood. There was a moment, a specific moment, when you learned that your anger was dangerous. Maybe you screamed, "No!" Maybe you threw a toy. Maybe you just cried too loud. And you saw the look on your parents' face. It wasn't just annoyance. It was withdrawal. It was the threat of abandonment. In that moment, you stood before the tribunal of adults, and you realized a terrifying truth. To be loved, I must be good. And to be good, I must be small. So you made a calculation, a brilliant, heartbreaking survival strategy. You took your sword. You took your fire. You took your no, and you buried them in the backyard of your unconscious. You built a persona to cover the fresh earth, the persona of the good child, the helper, the peacemaker. You became the child who never caused trouble, the child who absorbed the family's stress like a sponge. You thought you were being virtuous, but you were actually being mutilated. You amputated your aggression to secure your attachment. But here is the tragedy. You grew up. The tribunal of adults is gone. You are 30, 40, 50 years old. But the child inside you is still terrified that if they speak up, the love will stop. You are still operating on a software update from 20 years ago. And because you buried your sword, you are walking through a battlefield naked. You feel it, don't you? That exhaustion after a social gathering. That is the energy it takes to hold the door to the basement shut. Because the monster you buried is not dead. It is hungry, and it is scratching at the floorboards of your mind. What happens when you deny the wolf inside? Does it vanish? No, it turns on the keeper. Jung famously said, "When an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate." This is the most dangerous mechanism in your life right now. Because you refuse to own your own power, you are unconsciously summoning tyrants. Look at your history. The partner who constantly critiques your appearance. The boss who steals your ideas and smiles in your face. The friend who only calls when they need a tragedy listener. You think you are just unlucky. You think, why do I always attract these people? You are attracting them because you are vacant. Predators act on instinct. They scan the herd. They do not look for the weak. They look for the unprotected. They smell that you have disconnected from your own defense systems. They see the "for rent" sign on your boundaries, and they move in. But the external tyrants are nothing compared to the internal one. This is the part that should scare you. Repressed aggression is a toxin. It is acid in a sealed container. When you want to scream at them but you swallow it, your body keeps the score. The chronic fatigue, the jaw tension, the autoimmune flare-ups. This is not just stress. This is a civil war. Your aggression has nowhere to go, so it attacks you. You are cannibalizing your own vitality because you are too afraid to bite the hand that feeds you poison. And then comes the resentment, the secret, bitter resentment of the nice person. You give and give, waiting for the applause that never comes. You become the martyr. You think, after everything I did for them, but no one asked you to do it. You did it to buy safety. And now you hate them for not paying the price you never negotiated. It is time to stop blaming the narcissists. They are just doing what scorpions do. It is time to look at the frog who keeps offering them a ride across the river. We must reframe the concept of dangerous. Society has lied to you. It has told you that harmlessness is moral. But look at the archetype of the angel in Scripture. Angels are not chubby babies on clouds. They are terrifying entities with flaming swords. They are dangerous. That is why they are good. You must become dangerous to become safe. Think of a martial arts master, a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He is the most relaxed person in the room. He doesn't need to posture. He doesn't need to be passive-aggressive. Why? Because he knows he can kill you. And because he carries that capacity, he never has to use it. His potential for violence creates a perimeter of peace. This is what Jung meant by integration. You must retrieve your aggression from the shadow and put it under the command of your ego. Imagine your psyche as a sovereign nation. Right now, you are a nation with beautiful art, libraries, and gardens, but you have dissolved your military. You have no walls. You have no guards at the gate. What happens to that nation? It gets invaded by noon. Its treasures are looted. Its people are enslaved. Your aggression is your military. You don't need it to invade others. You need it to stand on the wall. You need the neighboring nations to know that if they cross the line, there will be consequences. Not a debate, not a polite request. Consequences. Right now, you are a nation with open borders wondering why you are being occupied. You must rebuild the army, not to become a tyrant, but to ensure the sanctity of your own soul is never violated again. But here is the twist. Here is the trap you never saw coming. You think your lack of aggression is protecting others. You think you are saving them from your anger. But you are actually protecting yourself. You are protecting yourself from the terror of being seen. You are the toothless seer. You see the truth. You see the manipulation. You have the vision of a prophet, but you have the voice of a ghost. And because you do not speak, you let the lie continue. You let the narcissist damage your children because you are keeping the peace. You let the boss destroy the team because you don't want drama. Your silence is not virtuous. Your silence is complicit. A seer without a sword is not a mystic. They are a witness to a crime they refuse to stop. You are afraid that if you become dangerous, you will lose your sensitivity. You are afraid you will become one of them. This is the lie your fear tells you to keep you small. Your sensitivity is the guidance system. Your aggression is the engine. Without the engine, the guidance system is useless. You are a parked car with a perfect GPS. You are going nowhere. You must weld them together. You must become the warrior sage, the one who sees with the heart of a mystic but strikes with the hand of a king. How do we do this? How do we break the conditioning of a lifetime? We start with the sacred no. No is not just a word. It is a complete sentence. It is an act of war against the demands of the world, and I want you to feel the physical terror of saying it. The next time someone asks you for something that drains you, the next time a family member tries to guilt trip you, do not explain. Do not apologize. Do not offer an excuse about your schedule. Just say, no, I'm not going to do that. And then, this is the secret, shut your mouth. Watch what happens in the room. There will be a silence, a heavy, awkward, thick silence. Your heart will hammer against your ribs like a trapped bird. Your brain will scream at you to fill the silence, to apologize, to make a joke. Don't let the silence burn. That heat you feel, that is not something going wrong. That is your power returning to your body. That silence is the sound of you growing teeth. In that moment, you are retraining your nervous system. You are teaching the child inside you. Look, we said no, and we didn't die. The world didn't end, and a strange thing will happen. The other person will adjust. They will back down. They will respect you, because for the first time in years, they have hit a wall instead of a pillow. Now, we go deeper. We move from defense to presence. You must learn controlled volatility. You must let the monster peek through the window. When someone disrespects you, do not smile. For God's sake, stop the nervous smiling. It is a submission signal. It is a dog rolling over and showing its belly. When the line is crossed, drop the mask. Let your face go cold. Hold eye contact 1 second longer than is polite. Lower your voice. Let them see that you are assessing them. Let them feel the weight of your judgment. You do not need to shout. Shouting is weak. Shouting is a tantrum. True danger is quiet. It is the stillness of the predator before the strike. Imagine there is a dragon sleeping in the cave of your chest. You don't need to let the dragon out to burn the village. You just need to let them hear it breathing. When you walk into a room with this energy, the atmosphere changes. People interrupt you less. They listen more. Not because they like you, but because they sense gravity. They sense that you are a person who can handle yourself. You are no longer food. Who do you become on the other side of this fire? You do not become a villain. You become the dangerous peacemaker. Think of the people you respect most in history. Think of the people you feel safest with. Are they the weak ones who collapse in a crisis? No, they are the dangerous ones who have their power under control. You feel safe with them because you know they can protect you. By integrating your shadow, you become a refuge. You become a rock in the chaos. Your anxiety diminishes. Why? Because you are no longer walking on eggshells. You are walking on the earth. You trust yourself to handle whatever comes. You know that you have a sword. You know that you can say no. You know that you can survive conflict. And because you know this, you can finally be truly kind. Your kindness is no longer a tax you pay to avoid conflict. It is a gift you give from a position of strength. Your yes means something now, because you have the power to say no. You have graduated from the innocence of the child to the virtue of the adult. This is your challenge. The next time you feel that familiar tightening in your stomach, the next time you feel the urge to swallow your truth, don't catch yourself. Take a breath and summon the shadow. Ask yourself, what would the dangerous version of me do right now? And then do it. Say the hard thing. Hold the gaze. Let the bridge burn if it was built on your submission. It will feel like you are dying, but it is only the nice person dying. It is only the mask cracking. Underneath, something ancient and powerful is waking up. The world has enough victims. The world has enough martyrs. The world has enough harmless people who let evil flourish because they are too polite to stop it. We do not need more rabbits. We need integrated lions. We need you to be dangerous. And here is the final paradox, the one that Jung left for us to solve. You can only be truly good when you are capable of being terrible. I am the story of self, and you are the author. Draw your sword.